Hey friends, welcome back to the channel. This is your boy Ahmed the Altcoin Era. Make sure to like, subscribe and join our private members. It's in my bio. Now we're going to look at this theory of right translated, left translated, all of this malarkey, yeah? We're going to go through it and we're going to find out what on earth are these people talking about. There are some participants that are discussing whether we're in a left translated cycle or a right translated cycle. As you already know, we have 3 years of a bull market and then 1 year of a bear market. 3 years of technically a bull market and then 1 year of a bear market. 3 years of a bull market and then we have 1 year of a bear market. This pattern could change. We could no longer have 4-year cycles and it could be very, very different. The S&P 500 just moves to the right. Fundamentally, what you're basically doing is you're betting on America to continue winning. Some of these bears are getting this theory from this period right here when we had heightened inflation during the 1970s. This is Monday, August the 16th, 1971. Nixon orders a 90-day wage price freeze, axes tax rises, and during this time, there were severs links between the dollar and gold. This was the period when the US dollar depegged from gold, causing higher inflation. We had a left translated cycle. We had a left translated cycle during this period, 2 years of up, 2 years of down. And this in 1972 was a period where we have 3 years up and a 1 year bear market. This is the theory where some participants are using this Bitcoin analogy where we're going to have a left translated cycle. I'm going to overlay CPI during that time. And as you can see here, if the CPI is under control and it's under 2%, the stock market does really well. It's only when it goes above 2%, then we have a problem. We had a bear market and then again, it went over 2% to a whopping 6%. And as a result, we had a bear market, 2 years of up, 2 years of down. And again, we had a massive meteoric rise in inflation. And as a result, Nixon depegged the dollar from gold, causing massive inflation. Paul Volcker stepped in during this time. He heightened interest rates to a massive amount, and he held for a very long time. The stock market went sideways until we had a recession. We had a severe recession in 1982. The unemployment rate was already high during that time, and it went up to a massive 10.8% by the end of 1982. They were begging Volcker. They were begging him to cut interest rates. And he still held. So what does this have to do with Bitcoin, you're asking? Bitcoin has had a typical cycle of 3 years up, 1 year down. 3 years up, 1 year down, 3 years up, 1 year down. Bitcoin's bull run lasts for 1,057 days. The second one lasted for 1,057 days. And now we have another 1,057 days. During all of these periods, ladies and gentlemen, inflation was under control. It wasn't until we see this period of heightened inflation because of the massive increases in money printing during 2021 that we saw prices head down. If CPI returns again, then of course we're going to have a left translated cycle. However, if inflation is under control, then we're going to have a typical right translated cycle. 3 years of a bull market, 1 year of a bear market. Looking back in history, we had 2 years of a bull market, 2 years of a bear market, 2 years of a bull market, and 2 years of a bear market. Unemployment, as a result, because of inflation. Whenever inflation goes up, it's hand in hand unemployment goes up. I'll give you a good example. 1962 was very similar to what? To the 2021 bull market. We had unemployment heading downwards, which is a great sign. And we had inflation under 2%. It was just moving sideways, created an optimal environment for growth and sustainable business. It wasn't until we had an uptick in both inflation and unemployment during this massive downturn in 1970 when we got off the gold standard. There was hyperinflation, or inflation was rife during that time. It took a long time to get rid of the inflation. This is basically just a fractal, okay? I got a fractal from here and the previous bull run from there, and I just overlaid it into this area. And this is a deviation here, another deviation, and another deviation. Typically, we move in this green rectangle. Bitcoin could deviate and hit these lower areas around 67, 65, 70, 71,000 US dollars and still be in schedule. Now, history doesn't always repeat. Look at the Ethereum maxis. Ethereum maxis thought that history will repeat. If I bring the bear market from here and a fractal, if I get a fractal from the bear market consolidation period here till the very peak, a lot of Bitcoin maxis thought that history will repeat once again. Instead, we had a long period of consolidation, but Ethereum actually went downwards. Coin could possibly see a left translated peak. However, we are in March, and in March, typically stock markets do go down during this period. There are a lot of stocks during this period have similar trajectories. Now, it's very early in the year. We're in the first quarter. What stocks normally do is during the first half of the year, they tend to go downwards. The exceptions are during 2022 when it was an official bear market. I can go all the way to 2017, 2014. And again, typically we have this period in the beginning where we have a downturn. It's not until later on during the year we see the most amount of gains. It's a slow start, but it's a quick finish. And since Bitcoin is very closely correlated to the S&P 500, then Bitcoin is seasonally in a downtrend in March. It's going to pick up in Q2 and Q3 if unemployment and inflation are under control. I don't know about you, but I'm so sick and tired of hearing the same bears, same perpetrators, same participants talking about recession. They've been talking about recession for the past 5, 6, 10, 20 years. And we haven't seen a recession for a long time. We've never seen a recession in our adult lives. Now, I know there's some participants that are a bit more older and they were around during the GFC period. But me, I was young during that period. I wasn't an adult during that period. So we haven't seen a recession. A recession is technically when the yield curve uninverts, okay? This is the 20-year, this is the 10-year and 2-year uninversion. Once this happens, ladies and gentlemen, we 100% have a recession. But we don't know how big and severe the recession is. The biggest downturns were during the 1970s and of course the biggest speculation we ever had, and that was 2008. They gave anyone during that period a home. Anyone. Just fill out a form. There's no credit checks. Matter of fact, you can have 10 houses under your name. Then we have the Sum Rule indicator. Bears love to use this. It's basically a moving average. When the 3-month moving average of national unemployment rate rises by 0.5%. Okay? And we had a unemployment rate during here. We had a recession during here, another recession, another etc. But you know what's crazy? The one that actually made this, Claudia Sahm, has actually said that this time is going to be different. And if it gets triggered, it's still not going to be a sign of a recession. I've been following true inflation for a very long time, and they're predicting that the next CPI print is going to be lower, far lower. They're predicting, because they do this on a daily basis. They input this information on a daily basis. This is all in real time, by the way. They're predicting 1.65 in inflation, CPI in America. The UK is heading sideways in CPI, but the UK has far bigger problems than CPI. Far bigger problems. And lastly, our favorite topic, altcoins. We have 1 year of altcoin season, 3 years of Bitcoin season, 1 year of altcoin season, and then finally we have one massive year of altcoin season. This time, Bitcoin maxis and bears want to say that this time is different. That's it for now. We're not in a left translated cycle. Altcoin season is happening in 2025. Buckle up, or you're going to be left behind.